Hello friends, I'm Tim Wildsmith, and in this video we're going to be taking a closer look at the ESV Heirloom Legacy Bible from Crossway. Okay, I've said this several times on my channel, but I'm convinced that the main reason why the English Standard Version, the ESV, is so popular of a Bible translation is because Crossway, the publisher, has done A, an excellent job marketing this Bible, and B, they've created a ton of great, unique Bible options. Anything you can imagine when it comes to typesetting, binding, that sort of thing. Crossway has lots of Bibles, every shape and size, lots of different formats. I think that makes this Bible, this translation, really desirable to a lot of people. Now, one of my favorites is the ESV Legacy. This is a beautiful single column design. It's just very unique. Last fall, Crossway released a bunch of new heirloom Bibles, which is their premium line in goatskin and this beautiful Horween cowhide, which I'm trying to get my hands on one of those. I'm hopefully going to have one very soon. Maybe even by the time I post this review, maybe I'll have gotten one. But I wanted to do a review of this Bible, A, because I think it's one of Crossway's best designs, most unique designs, and also because they offer really beautiful editions of it. So this is the most recent Heirloom Legacy in black goatskin. This one down here is the green goatskin, the exclusive edition produced by Evangelical Bible with Crossway. So I've got a couple of options of this Bible. Again, a really unique design. I think it's a good look at what makes Crossway such a unique publisher because they try different things, they put different types of Bibles out there, and a lot of times it works really well. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an overhead here, show you all the specs of this Bible and what makes it unique and why I like it so much. Before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This is the ESV Heirloom Legacy Bible from Crossway. Okay, first things first, very classy two-piece box here. It says ESV, English Standard Version. Down there it says Heirloom Bible Legacy Edition. You see it's the goatskin black edition. There's things on the side. And then you get the information on the back, all the different specs on this Bible. They do, when you open it up here, it comes with this beautiful, I love this about the Crossway Bibles, this kind of like velour felt cover that the Bible comes wrapped in. They have a pledge card inside there, very nice, kind of letter pressed, looks very clean and nice in there. And then here you have the Bible itself. So this is the goatskin edition. As I mentioned, they also came out with Horween cowhide, but very, very beautiful goatskin. Look at that texture. Perimeter stitch all the way around the outside. On the spine here, you have Holy Bible, ESV, English Standard Version, Crossway, with 4 raised spine hubs. Very, very nice. It's got like a little bit of a sheen to it. It's very, very soft on the inside. It's got a gold gilt line around the inside. Tight, clean corners. There you see the edge-lined construction. On the back, it says goatskin leather. Really, really nice. Got some red under gold art gilding, very faint on there, but looks really nice. Crossway does these stacked 4 ribbons that are really thin. Now, y'all know me. I do not criticize much about Bibles. I always try to find something that I like about Bibles. But these ribbons, I mean, these thin ribbons, double stacked up there at the top, it just doesn't really do much for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's like my only downfall of these Crossway Premium Bibles is these dinky little ribbons. I'm like, I'd rather have thicker ribbons that are nicer, like Beresford double-sided ribbons. Give me 2 or 3 of those and I'm totally fine. But that's just kind of a bummer. So I know a lot of people who are taking these out and replacing them, which is not hard to do if you want to figure it out. I just don't want to do that. Now, before we dive in, I want to talk about the cover and the fact that they changed and went back to the Netherlands with Royal Youngblood. I spoke to Brian Martin. Thanks to Brian for chatting with me. He's on Crossway's Bibles team, and we talked about the decision. So they basically, Crossway moved all of the production of their premium Bibles, the heirlooms. I'm getting into the weeds. If you just want to fast forward this and listen to the Bible, if you're interested in this and you know about it, they moved everything to China, and they produced a few Bibles in China. So here's one of the first ones they produced in China. This is the ESV Preaching Bible, the paragraph format edition. Love this Bible. Look at this goatskin, right? It's a beautiful piece of goat. They're not using the same goatskin for Chinese Bibles that they were in the Netherlands. They're not using like the same paper and sort of flow. They're sourcing it from different places when they moved it. So it's got a big wider grain. Look at the grain on that, the big wider grain compared to the tighter grain on that one. And this one just feels to me a little bit more, the word I've used was rough. It's like a rougher texture, whereas this one is really smooth. This one had a rougher texture, and these are about the same thickness. Now, this is one of the early ones in China. At the beginning of 2021, they released this same Bible in a verse-by-verse edition. And look at that. It's got that tighter grain pattern to it. It was very thin, but it had a little bit more, it looks a lot more like these new ones. Look. So this is the last one, this verse-by-verse preaching Bible is the last one that they produced in China. And I remember thinking, oh, well, they've kind of figured everything out. They've got a better grasp on the goat skin coming out of there. It looks really nice. I thought it was really great. But Brian told me, you know what? They had such a great relationship with Royal Youngblood. They heard what people said. They really wanted to make sure that these were of the utmost quality. And so these new ones, this is the most recent one produced at the end of 2021, uses much the same materials and all the quality and stuff like that of the old ones. Another thing you'll notice here is the paper is just the ones coming from China. The paper, it's hard to tell. This one's just a little bit whiter, where this one's a little bit creamier, and this one has more of a rougher, coarse texture. I don't mind the paper at all in these Bibles, whereas this one has a little bit of a sheen to it, a gloss underneath your fingertip. So those were the biggest differences between the Bibles. I think they were still constructed pretty well. They looked great. These are, again, 3 different Bibles, new, Netherlands, most recent made in China, one of the older ones made in China. And I think that the ones from China were getting better, but they did decide to go back and do everything in the Netherlands. And I think that's a good decision. These are top of the line. ESV is a translation that's really popular. And so these are going to be made the best of the best, really great, beautiful materials. Now, while I'm doing all this side by side, so here is evangelicalbible.com, which is the same parent company as Schuyler Bibles. They did a run of these last fall as well in green, blue, and purple for the Omega as well as the Legacy. Now, this is not one of those. You can tell because it's got the little baby ribbons. This is one of those. They did it a few years ago, but they did not go to the big ribbons. With theirs, they fixed the ribbon issue and they went with bigger ribbons. So you can get the exact same Bible with some special colors if you go to evangelicalbible.com. And otherwise they're the same. They're produced at the same place. They just change out the ribbons and stuff like that. I don't think there's any other major differences. Okay. So we've covered the outside of this Bible. No, we haven't talked about the size. The size is pretty classic. It's 6 inches wide, it's 9 inches tall, and it's about 1.5 inches thick. It's edge-lined. It's got a sewn binding. It looks really, really great. Feels very floppy in hand. Okay, let's open this thing up. So again, edge-line construction. You got some thicker cardstock here at the front of the Bible. Presentation page. Family records in there. Then you get Holy Bible. You see right here from the beginning, it's just a different, all justified over here. Holy Bible, English Standard Version. Here's your information. It's the 2016 text. It's the Heirloom Single Column Legacy. They did make this Bible for a while and printed it in the Netherlands. They made this Bible for a while in other bindings that were, True Tone and sort of things like that. I haven't seen those recently. I don't think they're currently still being made. But then you get the contents. And even from the preface, look at this. I love this. So the idea of this Bible is they've taken the headings and they put them out in the margins. And they did that even with the preface of this Bible. It's kind of cheeky, but I love it. I mean, just a really cool idea. Single column. So you get to the preface to the ESV, and then you get into the Old Testament. If I push this a little bit, it'll want to stay down. That's the design of the Bible. It's a single column text where they've really cleared everything out. You do get the textual footnotes out there, but there's no cross references. There's not a bunch of extra material, and the subheadings that are normally like right here, it says the creation of the world would be right here at the beginning of Genesis 1:1. It's out here in the column. The information they have provided, I'll just open this up so it lays real flat. The information they have on their website talks about like the Renaissance ideal of what the perfect page would be. And it's very clean, it's very elegant, it's very simple. But you see, it's got verse numbers and everything. It's almost a reader's Bible. Reader's Bibles where they often take out the verse numbers and anything else. It still has verse and chapter numbers, but it's very clean. You imagine just sitting down and reading this Bible. You don't have a lot interrupting your reading. And then the headings that are come before these paragraphs, which were added in, obviously the writers of the Bible didn't have these headings. These are out here in the margins. When they're not there, you got this big, gorgeous margin out here at the bottom. There's 1 inch and 1/8 over here. It's even more at the bottom and almost as much at the top. It's clear from the text, from the gutter there. It's just very, very clean and simple. You still get page numbers. You get page headings so you know where you're at. I like that a lot. This is the first full verse on this page. This is the last full verse on that page. I mean, and it's just, for me, it was like, I don't necessarily need an ESV Reader's Bible when I have this, because it kind of accomplishes the same thing. The verses are in there, but they're not really distracting and in the way. Let me pull this up for you. It's a 9-point lexicon typeface. It's line matched on 28 GSM endopaque paper. Obviously, like right here, you can see the heading on the other side where this is blank, but when it's line on line, you're not distracted by that at all. I mean, as I said, clean, simple, really elegant. And this is one of the things that I think Crossway does best. They produce Bibles that are unique, that are different. They're trying something different. And for me, this one has always been a home run. I've had a couple of different versions of this over the years. I think it's a great Bible to sit down and read with. If you want to dig in and read for long passages at the time, read a few chapters, read an entire book of the New Testament, I think this works really well. So there you go. Clean. I'd say classy. It's unique, but it's still classy. It's got an elegant look and feel. And then, of course, this premium binding is just next level. So despite the cleanness of it, when you get to the end of Revelation, you do get a table of weights and measures, and then you get a concordance. So they gave you a concordance in here, which is nice, which kind of just adds a little bit of thickness on the back of the Bible and some weight here on the back end, which I think is nice. 2-column, easy to read, and you get a set of glossy Bible maps. This would be even a thinner Bible if they took out the concordance and the maps. I think that might be a win to actually have a slightly thinner version of the Legacy, but overall, again, super simple. I'd love to know if you like this with the headings out in the columns and the cleanness of the page. I'd love to know what you think about that, but overall, I think it's really, really beautiful. So there you have it. That's the ESV Heirloom Legacy from Crossway. Beautiful Bible, right? I like this. It's just a different way to read the Bible when I want to dig in and read for a little bit longer or try something different. This is a beautiful Bible. I've had a copy of this Bible. This green one is kind of my main one. This is the most recent, but I've used this green one a lot. I really like it. So I'd love to know what you think about the Legacy design and the overall look and feel of this Bible. So leave me a comment and let me know. If you're interested in purchasing one of these, I'll put some links in the description to where you can look that up. I'll also put some great photos and more details at BibleReviewBlog.com. Before you go, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That helps me reach more people, and I've got a lot of great Bible content here on YouTube that I'd love for you to check out. And find me on Instagram and Facebook. We've got a great community out there, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.